Hey, aloha guys. Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. Why am I laughing? Because it's just funny. You know, you live on a little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and all this stuff happens, and you know, it's just kind of laughable, kind of a joke. But I'm talking specifically about Bill 88 and Bill 9. I call it the vacation rental ban scam. At least we have some direction the way the county is going, which is exactly what I said it would be from the very, very beginning. I said this thing will never hold water. They're kicking the can down the road, and it'll never go into effect. That's what I said, right when this thing came to light in the very, very beginning. What they have successfully managed to do, however, is erode values of condominiums 20 to 40%. And it doesn't matter if they're apartment zoned, hotel zoned, or any kind of zone, completely immune from Bill 9, the values have still dropped. So the beautiful thing is, if you're a buyer looking to get into the real estate market here on Maui, it's a wonderful time, because this government question mark, this huge question mark, which it still is a question mark, this uncertainty in the regulation is causing opportunity in the market for buyers to get in at a lower cost. Sellers are running scared, and tourism has been negatively affected. So let me take you through it step by step. And then you in the comments let me know, what do you think? Am I on track here with what's actually happening? What's actually going on? So the first thing I want to point out is that right after the fire, if you remember, these activist groups just popped up out of nowhere. And all of a sudden they started demanding certain things. Specifically, the big one was on Kaanapali Beach. They camped out and they absolutely demanded this ban on vacation rentals to create more housing for the fire survivors. Essentially, that was the message. More affordable housing, that was their mantra. And the irony of it is, during this time, it was the owners of these vacation rentals that opened up their homes, their properties, and housed fire survivors. So the very people that are housing fire survivors are simultaneously being attacked by these activists. Now, I question why that is. Why? How did that narrative get created? And why bite the very hand that's feeding you, that's trying to help you? Also, this is the hand that feeds tourism, right? And if you message out to the world like, hey, stay away, you know, we're kind of grumpy and we want to ban vacation rentals, and people are like, you know what, I don't feel like coming to Maui. I think I'll go somewhere else. The government allowed that messaging. Why did they hand the microphone to the people in the red shirts that were hot to trot to get rid of vacation rentals, when instead, what they should have been doing is asking, why was the fire not on the radio? Why did they not warn people? Why were the sirens not going off? Why was there not a drop of water in the hydrant? So you think about it, the whole fire could have been avoided if they would have put out the fire at the first structure. Why was the fire department removed from a grass fire during an 80-mile-an-hour windstorm? Why are the activist groups not activating on accountability and answers and changes in the government? The leadership that was in place, the emergency management director, whoever he was, he ran for the hills. He wasn't around. He was over on Oahu. Everybody was gone. All the leadership was not here that was supposed to be here, including the governor. The activists should be calling for a regime change, not to ban the very homeowners that are helping the fire survivors. So in the end, what's happening now? It was brought to us as a guise for creating more affordable housing, which in fact it won't. And Bill 88, again, would remove 5,000 of those 7,000 units back into doing what they're doing right now, which is short-term vacation rental, which would not create any more affordable housing. So the very foundation under which this bill was passed is now being usurped. However, they're very clever. They're not actually changing anything. They're saying, hey, here's a way, maybe, that you can get hotel zoned, 1 and 2 or 3. You have to pay maybe $50 to $100 or $500,000 per condominium complex, and there's going to be some studies and some rules and a whole bunch of bureaucratic red tape. So we may give it to you, we may not, we don't know. So it still has the same uncertainty in the marketplace, which is good news if you're a buyer, not so good news if you're a seller. But I want to know, why is it that they've gone this direction, when in reality it's not helping fire survivors, it's not creating more affordable housing, it's hurting the economy, and it's destroying real estate values for the very core group of people that helped the fire survivors the most, and is one of the backbones of our economy, because vacation rentals on Airbnb and VRBO allow people that are middle income, normal income, to come vacation on Maui. they tend to leave and go out and go to the businesses and go to the restaurants, versus a hotel customer stays more on property. So this is a very central core theme that they have pushed, and I don't understand it, but Bill 88 at least shows their true intention, possibly, but still doesn't answer any questions. There's a link in the description to a blog post with all the details. Please click it and check it out. If you're a buyer in the condominium market, the good news for you is apartment zone, hotel zone, Napili zone, every zone is still selling at a discount. So it's a great time to enter the market. Give it 5-10 years. I believe the market is going to surge again when Lahaina is rebuilt, which again is not happening. Not a single commercial permit has been issued. No rebuilding is happening, but I do believe it will happen eventually when we get the right people in office. It's an election year, and let's hope there's a complete regime change and we get all new leadership in Maui County government. I certainly hope that happens, because we need it, and we need to make sure a tragedy like this never happens again. And if you're one of those activists with a red shirt on, I ask you, please focus more on getting answers for what happened that day so it doesn't happen again to you, your keiki, and your generations, but also accountability for the crimes that I believe were committed on that day, on 8/8/2023. Much aloha. Eric West out.